Hi horse lovers all over the world, here we are again with the next challenge. Last time, just to give a little bit hands up, we did protecting our space, we did our neutral, and then we did asking backwards and coming forwards by steady pressure. Today we're going to ask backwards and forwards by rhythmic pressure. So let's say he's in my space for now, so one thing I do is I say, okay, this is my space, remember, this is my space, and now he's walking, he's there, he said, this is my space, just get, so that's it. So this is all kind of, I'm not in neutral, I'm not out of neutral, I'm in between, just asking, this is my space. Now we're going to do something different. Now, we did our neutral, so I said to him, you don't have to be afraid of the stick. Yeah, you can trust me with my stick. If I'm in neutral, this stick means nothing. But if I'm getting out of my neutral, I go to active, like now I'm active, now I'm lifting my stick up and I say, hey, can you go backwards? So I'm looking at him and I'm asking him backwards. There you go, that's super duper. Yeah, so don't stay in neutral when you do this. Go out of your neutral, go inactive. Ask him to go backwards, lift your stick a little bit, say, can you go backwards? And if he goes, you say, that's good. Yeah? And think of faces. Yeah? Think like, okay, if I'm standing up and I'm looking a little tough, that means my first face. Yeah? And if I wiggle him a little, or a little bit can still be my first, but if I wiggle him a little bit more, that can be my second, and more my third, and my fourth can be that I maybe touch him on his chest with my string. Oh, there he goes, see? That was good, because I was inactive, I was wiggling, and he went back. Super duper. So now, I'm gonna ask him forwards by rhythmic pressure. Yeah? So, there's a couple of, oh well, let's stay with this first, because not everybody has a stick. Yeah, so I'm asking him back with the steady pressure. There he is, super. So let's say you don't have a stick. Yeah, you can also do it with your rope. Yeah, you can go to active. You can say, can you go back? I wiggle with my finger. Yes, he does. 1, 2, 3 steps. That's perfect. Yeah. And also here you have a couple of phases, 4 phases, like you can wiggle with your finger, that's your first phase. You can wiggle with your wrist, that's your second. You can wiggle with your elbow, that's your third. And you can wiggle your whole arm, that's your fourth phase. That's a lot of phase, so yeah, be careful with that. Yeah. So now you have 2 ways to do it. If you use something else, use your imagination and see what you can do to make phases. Now we're going to ask him forwards with rhythmic pressure. So I'm going to say hi. Now I'm going to ask him, can you go forwards? So I'm asking him forwards. Yeah, yeah. And if he's not going, I say, hey, can you go forwards? Can you go forwards? Can you go forwards? I give him a little click. There he goes. And when he goes, I say, that's perfect, buddy. Yeah. And now he's standing still. I'm asking him, can you go forwards? Yeah. So me pointing is the suggestion. Yeah. So my suggestion is, can you go forwards? And he goes, then I go away. And once he goes, my stick is on his back. My stick on his back is also neutral. So phase 1, can you go forwards? And he's going, so I don't need a second phase. Yeah, maybe now he's like, oh, a barrier. Let's play with it. Okay, now I'm going to ask him forwards. I'm pointing. And I say, hey, can you go forward? So I use my stick a little bit. And once he's going, my stick is on neutral on his back. So, yeah. And now, I said neutral, but what I mean by this is, we had a neutral standing still, but we also have a neutral walking. So now I'm in a moving neutral. Yeah. Yeah. Because when I go to active, I say, hey, can you go? And then I go to neutral. Super. So now we have a rhythmic pressure for asking the horse backwards, like I'm going to do now. Can you go backwards? See, I'm looking at him. Oh, good. Yeah. So now I was asking him backwards. Not protecting my space. He was in my space, but I was asking him backwards. That's the difference between just protecting my space of asking him backwards with a rhythmic pressure. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun with these challenges, and see you the next one.